You are the producer and the talent, though.
Oh, it's very difficult to
produce and talent. So you're going to introduce us this week, where we are, and who we are, unlike last week?
Okay, so yes, I'm going to introduce us this week. Welcome to all the bacon and eggs with MMB and
JGAG.
There you go. And of course, we are coming to you from the Leo Pope Studios in beautiful,
luxurious,
opulent,
majestic
Henderson. We are here for your listening pleasure, or just JGAG's listening pleasure, because he's the only one listening.
I actually.
Oh, what?
I have confirmation, and we can get to it later, because I know we have to go into our first segment.
Okay.
But we will get to later that we actually have more than me listening, and I have physical proof.
Oh wow! That's gonna be a tease.
It's a huge reveal. Huge.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
I like this.
Prepare your mentals.
Okay, I'm gonna put my helmet on, so this case my mind gets blown.
It's a nice helmet.
All right. So, yes, we are here, and we, of course, we're gonna get into a couple of new things, but we want to recap some stuff that we did last week. Mm-hmm. Now, since JGAG listens to the show, and I do not, he's going to tell me what exactly it was.
You probably should listen to the show, write some notes,
okay.
Kind of critique yourself. We ended the show with saying it was a 2.2 out of 5, and I would say it was a 2.3 after listening back. We had some struggles at the beginning, but we got better as it went along. And that's all that I can ask for, all right?
Okay.
And there's no beeps going on right now. That was the first 20 minutes of our show last time. It was just computers beeping, just phones going off, everything, you know? The whole world was collapsing inside of us. And we talked about Dark Phoenix.
Talked about Dark Phoenix, which I did not ever want to do. But we ended up talking about it. And, you know, it was a lot of good stuff. I think that we ended with, we had a contest.
We had two contests.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. The first one was a QB challenge. All right?
Oh, God.
Okay. Let me just say.
Whew. This is bad.
I know my football. Seriously, if there's anybody listening other than the one person besides myself, so the two people, if you want to place football bets based off my limited knowledge of football, you would have won $1 billion today. But you didn't. Because I don't know if you did, actually. So, we had a QB challenge. We just said who's going to throw the most yards. We just picked one QB. You went with Lamar Jackson.
And it was just yards.
Yes, I went with Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Do you know do you know their stats at all? Did you?
I know that Watson had a career day.
Yes, he did. He threw for 426 yards. Touchdowns didn't matter, but he had 5 touchdowns and another almost 50 yards rushing. Do you know where Lamar Jackson was?
It was probably a career low. It was like maybe 80 or...
Not quite. Not quite 80, but it was 161.
Okay, so when I last saw it, I was like, I already knew I lost.
And that was including overtime, so you had extra time to try to beat me. Now, we totally failed. We did not text back and forth a punishment, but we will think of something for next show as far as what Marlon has to do in order to be punished.
I'm already punishing myself by being here. Okay, right now.
He is sick as a dog.
Okay.
That's why he has that sexy masculine voice going on.
Yes.
Usually it's, hey, it's Marlon, it's MMB.
Oh.
From your wonderful, luxurious Leopold Studios.
Wait a minute. Is that what it really sounds like? That's why I don't listen. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly why. Nobody wants to hear that.
It's like almost Mickey Mouse.
I am a grown man. Okay? Yeah. Okay? I pay taxes.
Yeah.
All right? I shouldn't sound like that.
Just so the government knows, I pay taxes too. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Don't come raid the studio.
Yeah, exactly. Please. No.
Does the IRS raid studios?
just come busting in.
Okay, now.
I didn't think nobody was listening, huh? Oh, yeah, we got you. We got you.
Our only listeners are the IRS. They're going to slip up and say they don't pay taxes. I know it. I know it. All right, so our other challenge was, if you remember the very first podcast, we opened with nose hair, fingernail growth, and so last episode we measured our index fingers just to see whose would grow the fastest. So if you want to go ahead and stick that on there, yours was at 1.5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it grew at all.
Where are we at? I got to go through the 0.
Yeah, push it all the way back.
Okay, so yeah, it grew.
What are you at now? How many dashes are you past the half?
It looks like I am 1 completely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right at that 1 past the dash. Right
all right, let's see. All right, drum roll. If you could can you do a drum roll voice or something? Or
I'm messing up my equipment here by doing this drum roll. What happened?
I didn't quite make 1. Dang it. I didn't lose. So you win the fingernail growth challenge.
Huzzah!
We'll get like a WWE belt or something.
Yes, I have it.
You
somewhere.
have one?
Of course I do.
Okay, we'll see if we can take a picture of you holding it up without your face in it. And
of course I have a belt. Come on, man. Anyway.
So those were the two.
With a voice like that, you don't think I have a WWE belt around here?
Here's my WWE voice. Oh, my belt. Oh.
Okay. Now I do kind of want to throw a little monkey wrench into things. And I know we had our notes and all that stuff. We do prepare somewhat, guys. So, but I had this thing that was going on all week, and I have no idea why. Not the flu. Who is Billie Eilish?
What? You don't know who Billie Eilish is?
No.
Okay. Let me explain to you who Billie Eilish is. Okay. Have you seen Parks and Rec?
Yes, of course.
Of course, because that's the name of the podcast. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So you know April.
Yes.
Okay. She's a combination of a grunge mixed with... Okay, so like take a Nirvana fan from the early 90s and mix it with April. Very kind of downtrodden, just looks at the dark side of everything. She dresses like she's into grunge. She acts like April. And also, side note, she knows everything about The Office. But I believe she's like 17 years old and just burst onto the scene with music that I don't love. It's weird. It's weird music, but people seem to really like it.
Okay, so she dresses like she's from The Sopranos in some velour jumpsuits. I've seen
that too.
That's all I've seen.
Okay.
So and you know you have the long fingernails, and you got the weird color in the hair, and she's on Howard Stern.
That's right. Yeah.
She's on Jimmy Kimmel. She's on what's the other guy's name? Jimmy Fallon. She's on
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. Anyway, and I'm just like, who is this girl? And then I listen to some of her music. Oh, she pops out of boxes at Ellen's show.
Yeah.
What is going on? And I listen to some of this music, and she's mumbling, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes no sense to me.
Honestly, though, it gives me... You and I have been doing music for a long time. Not really together, but we've been doing music separately for a long time, and it gives me hope that the garbage that I produce and the really quality music you produce will actually hit it big at some point. Because you just don't know who's going to make it big. You don't know what's going to be... You don't know what's going to be big. You know? Like
you don't.
You have some people that are producing music for years and years and years trying to get the one hit, and then this girl comes along just mumbling and not doing anything. It's like it kind of reminds me of like a spoken word mumble with prettier music, because for me, I don't understand like the mumble rappers.
Okay,
I don't understand that at all.
Okay.
And so, but that's like, I don't know if it's a huge phase now, but it was
it's
huge.
kind of going out.
It was massive for a while, and that's something I didn't understand either. So maybe you and I will strike it big at some point.
Yeah. And speaking of that, November 24th, The Deal Breaker is releasing. That is the new album from Alex Boddicker.
Oh.
that's just a plug. I mean, just out there. I'm not saying who it is or anything, but just throwing it out there. So speaking of music and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but Billie Eilish, yeah, don't get it.
Don't get it either. And we might not do. We might just be too old now. I mean, late 20s is getting old. You know?
Yeah. And I am, 77 years old.
If anybody's listening and understands what she's doing, please explain it to us.
Yeah, please. I mean, send us Western Union or something so, we'll get it, a telegram or whatever.
A singing telegram.
Singing telegram preferred. Just something. Just something, the old Morse code, little tick.
That was my first phone.
Don't snap faces or anything like that. We don't get that. I have no clue what that is.
I don't know how to chap face.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right. So that was my little rant for the week as I'm sitting at home trying to recover and I'm just getting angrier. And I don't know if it was because I was sick. And it's like, who is this and why is she everywhere? And it's good for her, but I don't get it. Like, okay, whatever. Cool. I got that off my chest. There will be more coming later, but I want to get into this next piece. So if you've heard last week, we were having some technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm. That was the name of the show.
Technical difficulties with style.
Perfectly described.
And you got to excuse my voice. It's probably going to get worse. I apologize. But we were having some difficulties, and we were trying to get someone to come in and talk about a topic because, JGAG and I are, we know kind of what's going on. I personally don't do deep dives into politics. It's not really my thing at the moment, but I do like to know what's going on. I like to understand.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that I brought in someone.
A specialist?
A specialist, that's going to be able to help us, hopefully, understand what's going on with this whole impeachment thing. Now, whatever side you may lay on, I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I'm just wanting to get some information out here. And so what we were trying to do last week was get this person on. The technical difficulties. This week, it seems like they are gone, and we should have him on. So if he does not mind in revealing himself and coming on, that would be
Good
great.
afternoon.
It worked.
Yes! Hey!
Actually worked.
This is our field reporter.
All right. So, Rich, would you like to just go in and just give us a little bit of what's going on with the...
Sure. So, first off, just to give a little 30,000-foot view is all of the facts, depending on which universe you live in, can kind of be in dispute. So you've got 40% of the American public live in the Fox universe, and then the other 60% live in the mainstream media and I don't care universe. So I am going to kind of give you the recap from the non-Fox universe that I've culled from quite a bit of reading from quite a few sources that are considered both centrist, conservative, liberal. But the bottom line is that the President of the United States has been accused of soliciting help from a foreign power in a U.S. election. And that is, it's against the law. It's actually written into the law that you are not allowed to solicit or accept help from a foreign power. And it was one of the things that the founding fathers were really, really concerned about. And they spent quite a lot of time debating and tweaking the Constitution so that they could come up with methods, which include impeachment, for preventing the chief executive, the president, from actually being bought and paid for by another country. You got to remember, back in the 1700s, America was a poor country as compared to the great powers of Europe. France, England, the Dutch, all had way more capital resources. So this was something that the founding fathers looked at and planned for, that it might be a problem sometime in the future. I don't think that they really had any clue that it wasn't going to come up for 250 years, but it has. So the president not only has been accused of soliciting a foreign power for help in a U.S. election, but he's basically gone on television and said, "Yeah, I did it, and I'm going to do it again. Watch this," and he went and did it again. So a little bit of background on how he actually did this originally is in a telephone call with the president of Ukraine. Now, Ukraine is in a very rough position in today's world. They were one of the original Soviet Socialist republics, the USSR. And when the USSR broke up, Ukraine split off like the rest of the Soviet republics did and became an independent state. Well, Russia, who was at the heart of the USSR, really lost a lot of clout and economic power by losing Ukraine. Ukraine was a giant agricultural driver for the USSR, and ports, a lot of other reasons why the Russians won it. A couple of years ago, Russians went in, took a piece of Ukraine called Crimea. They also invaded eastern Ukraine, and 5 years later, there is still an ongoing hot battle for certain sectors of the eastern Ukraine that the Russians are trying to annex with the help of some local rebels.
Okay. So
Ukrainians, they need money. They need money and they need arms. So the United States Congress voted a $500 million worth of aid to the Ukraine. And at one point, it was supposed to be delivered, and lo and behold, it was not delivered. The Trump administration put that $500 million on hold. And what followed after they put that money that the Congress had allocated to Ukraine on hold was this phone call with the Ukrainian leader, where Trump basically, flat out said that I need you to do me a favor. I need you to look into this whole deal with Joe Biden and his son with an energy corporation in Ukraine, and basically shook down the Ukrainian president.
Was he saying, "I'll give you that money if you look into them," or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he did not say exactly that, but if you read the text of the phone call, and it's not a transcript, they've kind of boiled it down. But even the part that they boiled down and let out, when you read it, he was shaking him down. Okay. He was telling him, you need to do this in order to get your money.
And this is agreed upon sum already. That they were
this
supposed
is
to
what?
Get. This was an agreed upon sum of money they were going to get.
Well, the Congress of the United States dedicated that money to them. Yes.
Okay. So why did we withhold it from them?
Well, that is a very, very hot point of contention, is that they are daily coming up with more and more evidence and information that we withheld the money from Ukraine because Trump and his administration wanted Ukraine to start an investigation into Joe Biden.
Okay.
And that's just completely and totally out of the bounds of anything that has ever been acceptable in American politics. Joe Biden, whether you like him, whether you don't like him, whether you'll vote for him or not, he is the front runner, or he was the front runner for the Democratic nomination for president of the United States. Donald Trump's number one rival. And Trump is on the phone to the president of the Ukraine saying, I want you to, look into this guy, and then you'll get your money. What the money is for, and the president of the Ukraine brought this up in the phone call, the money is for armaments, is for anti-tank missiles. It's for arms for them to continue to fight this battle against Russian-backed insurgents in eastern Ukraine.
How long ago, when did the phone call take place?
In July.
In July, okay.
The phone call took place in July, and the way we found out about it is that 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago, a whistleblower, and that's a technical term within the government. A whistleblower, there is a law that protects whistleblowers. So if you're a government employee and you see government waste, you see theft, you see something that's against the law or something that is just not right, you have the right to go to an inspector general and file a very specific type of complaint, which forces the inspector general to actually investigate what you've brought up, and then the inspector general is obligated to tell Congress about the whistleblower complaint.
Okay.
So about 2 weeks ago, the Washington Post got word that there was a whistleblower complaint out there. They didn't have a lot of information. It was probably only a 4-paragraph story, but they said there's a whistleblower complaint out there. Well, that tipped off the Congress to say, hey, we haven't seen a whistleblower complaint. What's going on here? And Congress immediately contacts the Inspector General of the intelligence community, and the Inspector General of the intelligence community tells them, well, yes, there is a complaint, but I passed it on to the Attorney General, who is telling me not to share it with you. So there is black letter law that says the Inspector General must share it with the Congress, and now the Attorney General is telling the Inspector General, do not share it with the Congress. So we've got a little bit of a constitutional crisis going on with that particular piece of it.
Now, why would Trump choose to release the transcripts if it kind of indicts him?
The pressure that came out after the whistleblower became known that they existed in the Congress, for the first time that I can think of, the unanimous United States Senate voted that he should release the transcript, and it's not a transcript. It's a consolidation of it.
It's the Cliff Notes,
but it matches what the whistleblower said, almost verbatim.
Do they have? How did the whistleblower come about this knowledge? How did he hear about this?
The whistleblower is a CIA agent.
Okay.
And the whistleblower has said that he or she did not have direct access to the phone call, but that he or she has had conversations with at least 6 people that did have direct access to the phone call or direct access to the full transcript.
So did those people that had the direct access to that phone call and to the transcript, then they took it to that CIA agent, and then he kind of blew the whistle and everything?
The CIA agent saw it as part of their, is most likely an analyst, and saw it as part of their daily job, and said, wow, the president of the United States just shook down the president of Ukraine by asking him to investigate his chief rival in the upcoming election.
So what happens next with the impeachment? And then follow up question to that is, what do you think the chances are that he does get impeached?
So the process of impeachment, it's a two-part process. So impeachment itself is analogous to an indictment. So, and the House of Representatives, the lower house, is the body that would actually impeach the president. But that doesn't mean he gets thrown out. Mm-hmm. Once he gets impeached, then it goes to a trial in the Senate.
Okay.
And you have to get a 2/3 majority in the Senate in order to actually remove a president from office. The Republicans right now hold 53 of the 100 seats, 52 or 53 of the 100 seats in the Senate. And there's only a small handful of Republicans that have shown any kind of stomach for going up against this president at this particular time. Okay. So the chance of him actually being removed from office are pretty damn slim with the information that is on the table as of today.
Okay. So it'll basically be a situation like Bill Clinton, where Bill Clinton was going through the impeachment but never actually fully got impeached, correct?
No, Bill Clinton was impeached. So once the House votes on the article, the House comes up with the articles of impeachment and they vote on it.
Okay.
And you, at that point, you are either impeached or not.
Okay.
Bill Clinton was impeached.
But not thrown out of office?
But he was not removed from office, correct. When
Okay.
Bill Clinton's, when the articles of impeachment for Clinton went to the Senate, they could not get a 2/3 majority in the Senate to remove him from.
Okay. So do you think that'll be almost the same process as what's going to happen with Trump?
The way it looks right now is failing a real smoking gun that shows something. And I really don't know what would move the Republican senators at this point. I mean, Trump famously said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in New York and get away with it.
Yeah.
And he is in the process of doing that right now.
I would have to say that this whole thing is going to backfire against the Democrats and strengthen the conservative side of the aisle. Not in the Senate, but I mean like this the conservative base of the United States, actually.
Well, here's the deal with that. His base has been consistent at between 38 and 42% since the day he got elected. Nothing has moved it any lower than 38, and I think only once or twice has he been higher than 42, and that's only been a point or two. Okay. So he has had historically consistent numbers and historically low numbers. Mm-hmm. Normally, in any presidency, there is a honeymoon period where you have well over 60% approval ratings. And as the closer you get to the midterm election, those ratings go down and down and down. And then after midterm elections, they tend to inch back up, never getting as high as they were during the honeymoon phase. Okay. That is all out the window with Trump. That's never happened. He never got the honeymoon phase, and he has been consistent all the way through. So the impeachment by the Democrats really doesn't risk a whole hell of a lot. There's no way that 40 or 42% we're going to switch over the aisle and vote Democratic in the next election, no matter what. They are with him. They are in lockstep. So I think that their thinking on this, from what I've seen, is that they've let a lot of stuff go, and they finally have to, in their own minds, we've got to stand up and say, this was wrong, this was illegal, He may not get removed from office, but we would be derelict in our duty if we did not impeach him.
So much to like what JGAG just said. I know that sounds real professional, right? But if you're going to strengthen his base, because basically I saw a commercial today where it's they're talking about the Mueller investigation, the last scandal, now this, and they haven't been able to prove anything. So why are they going for this now? Like, what is the real?
The crux of it is there's nothing to prove. He got on television and said he did it, and it's against the law.
Okay.
It's really as simple as that.
So he's impeaching himself then at this point.
Yes, and there has been a scuttlebutt in the White House,
Heady play,
and from the Trump team for literally years that they have been daring the Democrats to impeach him because they do feel that impeachment is a good thing for them. It's a way for them to solidify and stir up. He's not going to expand his base. His base is what it is.
And that's what I see. I don't see anything good coming from this if you're on the Democratic side. There's no it's not going to, you don't have anything that's like so damning that it's going to be like, oh, well, he's going to leave office like Nixon.
Well, let me repeat myself. He broke the law.
Yeah.
It's against the law to solicit a foreign power to interfere in a U.S. election. That's against the law. It's not it's not open to interpretation. That's against the law.
So why isn't he in handcuffs now?
Why isn't he what?
In handcuffs. And in
jail. Because the process is, there's two processes. First of all, the Justice Department has a long-standing memo back from the Watergate era that says a sitting president cannot be indicted. Now, you can indict a president after he leaves office, but you cannot indict a president while he's in office. That means is
even if he went out on the street and shot someone like he said he could do?
Yeah, they could not indict him.
Wow.
They could not indict him. And that's not the law. That's a Justice Department opinion, but it's held for almost 50 years now.
Wow.
So that leaves your only option is the political option, because impeachment is not a legal option. It is a political option. It is something that goes through. It is determined and driven and voted on by politicians.
Yeah.
By the Congress. So it's not like, you rob a bank, you get caught, they indict you, you go before a judge, you're found guilty, and you go to jail. It's not like that. As a matter of fact, the term high crimes and misdemeanors is what is used as the bar for impeachment. And if it's a high crime and misdemeanor, it does not necessarily even have to be a written law that was broken. It has to reach that level of political malfeasance, for want of a better term. So I really think the Democrats were in a tough spot, but I also think that if they had not done this, they would have gone down in history as the single most spineless, whipped Congress in the history of the U.S. I think they're doing the right thing, even though it's not going to come out in an ending where he actually gets removed from office. That does not remove them from their responsibility to actually follow the rules laid down in the Constitution. And that's what they're doing.
Okay. That makes, for me, it makes sense because the Democrats are trying to save face, but on the other side, it's kind of like, okay, you can't you can't drag down Trump any further than he really is. I mean, you can't take down his quote unquote good name. It doesn't really exist, you know.
Yes.
So I feel like as somebody who has a PR and advertising, you know, we always say any PR is good PR, and for him, it's almost like giving him more fuel. And it for me, from what I've seen online, there is such a divide. It's either left or right. There's no real middle, and the people on the right are now just extremely mad, and now the people on the left are extremely mad. And so I'm not sure if this is what we need at this point, but obviously the Democrats totally need to do this.
It may not be what we need, but it may not be what we need as something to help with the problem that you just described. But I don't think we really, as a people, have a choice, because at this point in our history, to say that the office of the President of the United States is omnipotent, and that there is nothing that he can do. You know, in my personal opinion, Trump is a clown who has surrounded himself by some borderline evil people.
Okay.
But I don't think he's in the place where he is because he had some grand design to ruin the United States. It just kind of fell in his lap, and there he is. But that doesn't mean that in 10 years from now or 50 years from now, if we no longer have the ability to put constraints upon the president, that we won't have somebody who really is well thought out at wanting to take our liberties and our way of life away from us, and our ability to operate as a democracy that has served us so well for well over 200 years. Well, you know, you got to fight for that. Yeah. You have to fight for that. You can't just say, you know, he's a loudmouth, we'll just let him get away with it.
Correct. Yeah.
That precedent will haunt us for generations to come.
Who do you think has the best chance of defeating Trump next year?
I think that he's been successful in damaging Biden. I think Joe Biden is a good, honest, and patriotic man, but I think he definitely has been damaged in a lot of people's eyes. You know, politically, that's a really, really hard question on who is going to have the best shot. I would almost say Warren at this point. My personal favorite, and she doesn't have a lot of chance here, is Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar is a middle-of-the-road, Midwestern politician that is, you know, and she's for expanding Obamacare rather than Medicare for all. She's for a lot of real common sense solutions to problems rather than the off-the-shelf liberal wing of the party solutions to the problems. And I think that she would make a wonderful president. I really don't think she's got a whole hell of a lot of shot in the field. She's still only in low single digits in the polls. Warren is now approaching front runner status, and you would be hard pressed to find a woman who is as articulate and full of energy as that woman is. And she is not somebody who would, I believe, take the abuse from Trump the way that even Hillary did in the 2016 election. I think when Trump walked behind Hillary and you know, almost made like he was going to mug her at the debate, I think Elizabeth Warren would turn around and smack him.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you think that Bernie Sanders at this point will drop out or needs to drop out because of health issues?
I love Bernie, as many people do. I think he's an American hero. I don't see it for him. I think that he will at least go through Iowa and New Hampshire as a testament to the people that have supported him for so long. But I read a poll today that said that Elizabeth Warren has co-opted 32% of the people that voted for Bernie in Iowa in the last primary.
Okay.
So she is in the process of consolidating that left-leaning coalition of the Democratic Party. Her big problem is black voters.
Just gonna drop a bomb at the end there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, but Trump's not a big poll in that area either, right?
No, but you need black voters to win the Democratic nomination.
Yeah. So do you think if she gets the nomination, the black vote will just sit on the sidelines?
There's a danger of that. And Joe Biden, the black electorate is very, very common sense, and they're locked in with Biden, and as long as Biden is polling high and in the top 1 or 2, he is going to grab the African American vote, and that is where the primary is going to be won or lost. I mean, I can't possibly imagine Joe Biden ever losing the South Carolina primary, which is, I believe, the third or fourth one in. That is that's a problem for Warren, unless they can come to some type of arrangement before then.
All right. Well, Rich, it has definitely been insightful, and we really appreciate you coming on. Would you be willing to come back?
I would just add one more thing. I made all that.
Perfect. I knew it. Again, it happens. Again. All that trouble I had last week to get this whatever, to get bamboozled.
That was really good. Baba Booey. I appreciate it, man. I probably learned more talking to you in the last 20 or 30 minutes than I could, just scouring the internet. So I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now
you're welcome, and I look forward to being invited back.
Oh, yes, definitely. All right.
We'll see.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Rich. Thank you. All right. So that was
very informative.
I really enjoyed that.
I think whether you're left or right, you could definitely take something from that and learn and not be upset. The thing that I took from that is a question for you.
Yes.
You are a black gentleman. Okay. A long time ago, like 10 years ago,
all right,
I was told, don't call me African American to a black woman because she's not from Africa.
Okay.
She said, call me black.
Okay.
White people have no idea what term to use. What do we do?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
I mean, are you offended if somebody says African American versus black, or?
Am I offended? No, not really. It's, to me, black, African American. I'd rather you just call me by my name.
Marlon? MMB?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I said it last week,
You said it last week so many times. Just call me by my name.
It's hard. It's
hard but just recognize that I'm a man first, and then we can move on from there.
So now, because he used two different terms.
I heard it.
And so when you're saying, like, for the group of people, what term should you use?
It depends, because I can't speak for everybody, because I have heard both sides where they African American, black.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I have never been to Africa, so I don't know anything of what's going on in Africa.
Yeah, that was always weird to me because you don't hear people saying my family's from Europe. You don't hear people saying, "Oh, here comes a European American."
Exactly.
And I've never understood why African American was acceptable. I mean, you can call me white. I'm totally fine with that. You know, like here comes White John. That's fine. I don't care. But like, I just didn't know if there was an acceptable or just
that stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of because and it sounds cliche, and I'm not a person. I know who I am, and I know the people that I deal with, and they know who I am, and that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
I don't like being judged just off of one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yes, I am a large man. Okay, you know how many times that I have to hear, "Oh, you should be playing football, or you should be a bouncer." That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
You would be a good bouncer.
That is one of the biggest pet peeves because you're just going based off of one thing that you notice about me is that I'm a large man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's whatever.
Yeah.
And I've learned and I've grown to just, let that go. I pick my battles and I'm not about to sit here and speak for a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah.
All I know is that I think that if you are, just being a real person, no matter what, that comes through and more than anything.
For sure, yeah.
And there are real, genuine, authentic people and all ethnicities and from different countries and things like that. So that's what I represent.
It's one of those things where you just can't judge a book by its cover because you're not a bouncer. You would do much better at like a cupcake, bakery kind of thing. I mean, more of a cupcake. I've seen you, but it's like this will tie back into all of our shows, but. Movies that I wouldn't watch again, I wouldn't watch American History X. It's fantastic, but it's just so heavy. But there's that scene in the laundry, in the laundromat when they're in prison, and you have the racist white guy hanging out with the black guy.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that they would become friends. And they became friends because they saw past the color of their skin.
So you wouldn't watch again? Or
I don't think I can. It's just one of those movies. It's just so heavy.
See, we didn't have that discussion. We had ones we would watch again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So now we're just dropping the next...
Well, no. Remember we talked about Requiem for a Dream.
Oh my God,
that's right. Because we said we wouldn't watch that, but American History X is a fantastic. I love that film, but it's just so heavy, dude. But it does make you think. You need to really get to know somebody before you judge them.
It really does make you think, and I think that's the most important part about it. When I first met you, you had this goofy haircut,
black.
Just really dark hair, and it was like in your face, and I was just like, "What is this guy all about?"
All the ladies loved it.
You know what? And then I was just like, "What is going on?" But I didn't judge you. I was like, "You know what? We did an overnight. Me and you were moving water heaters and all kind of stuff.
Good old Sears.
Exactly.
Plug for Sears. They need it.
Oh, Jesus. Boy, do they need it. We're moving water heaters and we're talking about music and things like that. And I was like, this guy's really cool.
Hey, thanks.
And I don't know how you felt about me, but I was like, I like this guy, and I've been, your friend. Even though we haven't talked on a daily basis, but I've been your friend ever since.
It's one of those things where if you could call me at any point, even if it's 10 years we don't talk to each other, and say, hey, I need this, and I'd do it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's more of what I'm about.
Yeah.
Is that, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. So I've been very fortunate to have a lot of different people.
I have a big reveal.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I didn't want me to cut your sentence.
No. I'm saying it's just I've just been fortunate enough to have a lot of different people in my life that influenced me. Of course, my mom and my sister and my uncles and my cousins and my aunts, all of those, and they really influenced me and helped me to be who I am.
Yeah.
And my group of brothers that I represent, the Oxmen, they've also been very instrumental in helping me shaping who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my other group, the Endangered Few, which Rich is a part of.
Okay.
So we do our thing, and I've just been fortunate enough to have good people in my life that help me.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is most important. I think that nobody's judging. You learn who people are, and you see who they are, and you gravitate towards the people that are like-minded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get to know somebody before you judge them,
Exactly.
because you don't know what they're going through either.
Exactly. You don't. I used to judge. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to be so judgmental when I was younger, and I had to grow up because I don't like to be judged. I don't like to feel that way.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want anybody else to feel that way. I always put myself in the other person's shoes.
Correct.
So it's important for me.
You do absolutely live what you're saying. I believe that.
Yes.
So we opened the very first podcast with a very intimate discussion of nose hair,
All right.
fingernails, ear hair, all that fun stuff.
And I do have a caveat that
Okay.
we need to go into that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go through your reveal.
Okay. So I got a package in the mail
All right.
about 3 days ago.
Nice.
It said, "I heard you on your podcast.
Are you kidding me?
I realized you needed this."
Are you kidding me? That is awesome.
And so what I have here is a nose, ear, and brows trimmer sent in from a listener. Not even joking. So we do have one more. We do have somebody else besides me that listens.
That is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That is the coolest thing.
So I'm going to have to see if this person will send you one as well, and then we can be a team. Well, we can't say the brand because we don't sponsor them, but we could be team nose, ear, and brows trimmer.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor on this show. We don't currently have any sponsors. I mean, as of right now, but it is what it is. So
I'll use this week and let you know how it goes.
yes, please let us know, because that is a great thing. So, in that.
You said you have caveat. Is this it? What?
No.
You're not going to go there?
You can't.
Okay.
I just can't. I just can't.
Okay, well, then if you want to think about what you can and cannot do, I have one other thing that we had talked about in the past. Would my wife read Ready Player One?
Yes.
She said no.
What?
I know. She said she's been having a hard time getting through the book she's currently in, and she just doesn't know if she wants to take the task of reading another book at the current moment.
All right.
I know.
All right.
Bummer.
So we will have to find someone else that is willing to read Ready Player One. I will provide the book. Mm-hmm. I gave my book out to someone a while back. Have not seen it since, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a generous guy like that.
Yep.
I guess.
Yes, he is.
No, but we have to. I really want to get into that discussion because I've always heard that, and again, you got to read the book.
Yeah.
The book was so much better. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
I hear that all the time, too.
All the time. And I'm like, I didn't read the book, so this is cool to me.
Yeah.
And it was so apparent to me when I watched Ready Player One. Good movie. If I didn't read the book, would it be a good movie? I really couldn't tell you. I really couldn't, because you thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was fun, yeah. I thought it was fun.
But anyway, we'll figure that out and we'll get to that. But I wanted to get to this next topic because I did like it.
All right.
So now, technology that you can't live without.
Oh, you're gonna hate my answer.
Because this is the thing. We're fortunate enough to have seen a lot of things change. A lot of things change. And, you go from not having a phone with you all the time, to always having, and if you don't have it, you're in a state of panic.
Yeah.
not having an answer, a question being answered in a second, because you can just go onto your phone or your tablet and answer that question.
Yeah.
What would you do? My thing is, I'm going to answer because you said I'm going to hate yours. And
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to answer first.
Go for it.
I'm trying to think. Let me think.
The technology you can't live without.
Very important. I think the most important thing is the internet.
Okay.
You go there now, you cannot live without the internet. I cut cable a while back, but you still need the internet, because how, and if you live in Nevada, Cox Cable has a monopoly on internet right now.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm not bashing Cox Cable. It is what it is.
No. They need to be bashed. You guys suck. You guys suck. You're ruthless savages who need to be destroyed.
All I can say is that my bill went from $200 to almost $350, and I didn't do any changes.
That's crazy.
And it is what it is. So yes, Cox Cable, whatever. So, but you need the internet. You need the internet because if you can go online to take care of your bills. You can go online to do this. Everybody has an online. You can't even apply for a job anymore unless you have internet.
Yeah, they always say, "Why are you handing me a resume?
Yeah,
go to my website."
Yeah, what is this? I don't want to see this.
It's paper.
Really?
You cut down a tree?
Oh, come on. Whatever. Get out of here. No. We don't want your application. You're not good enough for us.
Yeah.
But that's mine. So what is yours?
All right. So I've been doing a lot of thinking. I do most of my work on my phone.
Okay.
I've even gotten to the point where I don't really use a computer that much anymore. Mm-hmm. I just use my phone. I hate it. I hate being on my phone. I hate technology. It drives me nuts. You said you like the internet. I can't stand it. I don't. Ever since the internet became a giant thing, I feel like I've become dumber because I don't have to actually retain anything. I can just look it up.
That is proven, though.
Yes,
we are getting dumber.
It is.
Yeah.
We're going to become idiocracy.
Yes,
the movie's becoming true, and I think honestly, with the growth of technology, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything practical. We don't. If the internet cut out right now, if all of technology stopped working, 99% of the population would be dead within 30 days because they can't gather food or wood or
exactly.
So it makes me, it just makes me stop and pause and think okay, well, without all of this, I'm not really anything, and I don't have those, survival skills that I wish I had, and when we were listening to we both listened to the Le Batard show, and they were talking about how one of the producers' dads made a lamp in woodworking class one time, and they're like, what, does that still exist? And I don't know if woodworking class still exists, but it darn well should. Now you go into these schools and it's just, okay, let's see what you can do behind the computer rather than getting hands-on and actually creating things and making things and building things.
I'm going to tell you something. I had wood shop class in middle school and high school.
Okay.
And middle school, I made the crappiest clock ever seen.
Do you still have it?
I do not.
Okay.
I thought I did, but it might be in my mom's house. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it was awful. And in high school, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's an elective, so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because high school is whatever. I play sports. I'm an athlete. I just doing this just because. And then I maim myself forever, as you can see. My finger is permanently damaged.
I like that.
And you can't see it. I just showed JGAG that is what my finger looks like, and it's imagine you walking through wood shop, and it's a relatively large room, has a lot of equipment. A lot of stuff I've never seen before. growing up in Los Angeles, I'm not big into woodworking, but whatever. And all of a sudden, I'm walking through, and I'm like, I'm hearing a noise I haven't heard before. I'm like, is this machine on? And I look at it, and there's a guard there, like a guard to protect, I guess, the blade. Mm-hmm. And I pull it back, and it's going so fast that it looks like, because I pulled it back before, and I saw that when it wasn't on. Mm-hmm. So I was like, is this on or not? And I pulled it back. It looked like it wasn't on. Like, it looked like it was when it wasn't on. So I just put my finger, zoom,
oh my gosh.
And I just like, zip, oh, it's on. And I just walked off, like, hoping nobody saw me. And I'm walking, and I walked away. And then I look back, and there's a trail of blood following me.
It's following you, chasing you.
And I'm like, and I look at my finger, it's completely bloody. Oh. It's so bad. It's so bad that when I go to the teacher in his office, he looks at it, immediately turns right into the frame of the door, breaks his glasses.
Oh, no. Did it hurt? Were you in pain?
No. No, I wasn't in pain. I just was like, it felt numb. And I was just like, whatever, it was no big deal. Until I got to the hospital, because they had to take me to the hospital. Mm-hmm. I get there, and they're like, oh, we might have to grab some skin. Oh, and I'm like, what?
Did they?
No.
They took it from your rear end?
No. As they wanted to, I was like, no.
You have a butt finger?
No, I was like, no. Just leave it. Just leave it how it is. It was purple. It was yellow. It was disgusting for 3 or 4 days.
You are so lucky you didn't cut your whole finger off. I mean,
yeah.
just a couple inches or centimeters.
Oh, it would have been bad,
dude. That would have been.
It would have been so bad, because I was like, it is what it is, though. I made it, and now that teacher has a story to tell for the rest of his life, because he hit, and the assistant that took me to the main office, was laughing so hard that he saw the teacher break his glasses. Oh. It was ridiculous. But yeah, it is what it is. So wood shop and all that stuff, who needs that? Nobody needs it.
I mean, maybe not in high school, but we need it now. I mean, I would like to know how to do certain things, and I just don't have the time now.
Yeah, just look it up on the internet.
I'm on my stupid phone all the time.
Just look it up on the internet.
You definitely could, yeah. But if the internet went away, what do we do? Once Al Gore dies and we lose the internet, what do we do?
Oh man, I think that it would be a dark time. Mm-hmm. It'll be a dark time, and you have a whole bunch of Ted Nugent style people that'll try to take over.
Now let me give you guys a survival tip. All right. This is a survival tip. As you know, I have 3 dogs, and I have a dog business. All right, so I'm with dogs all the time.
I know that. Do they know that?
I was talking to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It doesn't matter what I think when I listen back.
All right.
So I was watching them eat one day, and I'm like, oh man, like if the apocalypse comes, and people are going to be rushing to the food stores, mm-hmm. Just raiding everything. Yeah. I'm going straight to Petco or PetSmart, and I'm just going to grab as many bags of dog food as I can. Okay. Because those dog food bags are packed with, proteins, vegetables, everything. It's going to taste like crap, okay? But if you're in the apocalypse, you're not going to expect gourmet meals every night. You can live off of,
you can survive.
Yeah, you can live off those bags of food, for months, maybe years, depending on how many you get. Now, obviously, you go out and scavenge and get other foods and stuff. But I'm just saying, between me and you, because we're the only ones listening, and also the nose hair guy, go and raid PetSmart.
Do you have a name for this person?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he wants me to say though. We can call him Jay.
Okay, so it's okay, but it is a listener.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's somebody that actually listened and sent me something in the mail.
They have to know you because we didn't give an address out.
I mean, maybe online I did.
That's true.
I
don't know your life.
Okay, so I know we have a couple other topics.
Yeah,
okay, but on the social media,
yes,
I posted. Was the original RoboCop a good movie?
Yes.
Okay. We had over 150 votes on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
What do you think the percentage of yes versus good was?
Boy, yes versus...
Yes and good. Like, what do you think the percentages of yes and good were? Like, 60-40, 50-50, 40-60, 30-70. There we go.
I want to say that it's a minimum of 90-10.
90-10. Okay. Actually, on Instagram, because Instagram's a lot younger crowd, I thought it was going to be closer to 50-50, but it was actually like around 75% said it was a good movie.
Okay.
All right. On Facebook, it got completely panned. I had like 3 or 4 comments, and they just said it was all dog crap. So I'm sorry about that. I argue back and forth. I even had somebody say, hey, I like the new one better.
No. This show is over. This show is over. Oh, no. No, never.
On the let's see, there's another Instagram page I posted on as well, and I think it was 60-40 on that page. So, with it being from the 80s,
yes,
and you're speaking to a younger generation most of the time on social media, I would say it was relatively positive.
Okay.
You're right around like the 65-70% that said it was a good movie.
That's true.
Okay, and now I should probably go back and ask how many people will actually see this movie. It'd be like 20%. Because nowadays you never know. I did have somebody say that the effects do not hold up, and they just think that it just ruins it. For them, that's a good question too. They said if the effects don't hold up, it's not a good movie.
That's not true. The effects hold up.
Okay.
The storyline hold. I don't care about this person. This person does not matter to me anymore. Okay?
Don't listen.
You don't matter to me anymore, person. Okay? Look, RoboCop, the original RoboCop, yes, it does have. It has a sentimental place in my heart. So of course, I'm going to hold it higher than anything else, and I get it. It can be kind of campy, it can be kind of cheesy, and I understand that. But it is a great movie with a great story and a great the story and the character that you see. It's I don't know. Have
you ever cried? Have you ever cried during RoboCop?
No.
Okay.
No, I never cried during RoboCop.
Have you ever cried during a movie?
Yes.
What movie?
Oh man.
I'm pretty emotional, so you can make me cry just about through any.
I'm looking at my case over here. I didn't cry at RoboCop. I didn't cry.
I cry when dogs die. So Marley and Me, I make it through half that movie, and then if I can't watch the rest, forget it. I will. I died during I cried during I Am Legend when he had to put his dog down.
Oh yeah.
I was bald. I was in the movie theater just wailing. Oh, why, Will?
Yeah, that was sad.
Samantha, and then you learn, and then he said, because the whole movie he calls him Sam. You think the dog's a boy, and then he goes. Something about I'm gonna miss you, Samantha, or Samantha, and I'm like, it's a girl. Oh no, even worse. I was dying.
Yeah,
and all dogs go to heaven. I was in kindergarten, took a girl with me, and I'm doing the whole, putting my hand up on my face so she doesn't see me just bawling over there because man, that movie killed me too. Anything with dogs just destroys my heart.
I can't remember the last time anything that has so it gets. Like romantic comedies, or like not romantic comedies, but like romantic films at the end where like it all comes together. Mm-hmm. It's a formula that happens. It's like, oh man, this is, and it's so cliche, but whatever. And I get a little teary-eyed.
All of Adam Sandler's movies.
No, okay. No, none of those.
Dude, I'm trying to look over here and see. I don't really see any movies that you have that I really would have been
teary-eyed. Legend of the Fall.
Ooh, no. I don't. You don't have. Do you have The Office here? Because I will cry during that.
No, I don't have The Office.
When Michael leaves, I get pretty teary-eyed.
No, that and stuff like that. When Michael came back.
Uh huh.
At the end of the final office.
Yeah.
That was one
that
that
pulls on
got
your
me.
heartstrings.
That got me.
He's standing right there.
Yeah,
and he's
the bestest mensch.
Yes,
And
Jim says I can't be your bestest mensch, and he says
Yeah.
why, and then yes.
Oh, that was that one. That one was tough.
That'll get you.
So all right. So whatever about the RoboCop. Okay, I like it. That's fine. Nobody else needs to like it. It's more for me. It's now back on HBO. If you want to see it, check it out.
Send them all your copies.
Check it out. Yeah, exactly. Please do. I would love it. Now I have.
Send them all your copies. Please do. Yeah.
Because Paul Verhoeven did 4 really good movies.
What were they? Quickly.
RoboCop.
Okay.
Basic Instinct.
Okay.
Total Recall.
Okay.
Striptease.
Okay. That was a great movie.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Dude, Starship Troopers actually holds up pretty well. It's so ridiculous, but I love it. It's just you're getting a B movie when you watch it. Yeah.
Okay, it's not a B movie because Paul Verhoeven is a great director.
And what's his name too? What's his name's in it? The oh my gosh.
Casper Van Dien.
Nope. Keep going.
Michael Ironside.
Nope.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes. Yes, he's in it.
Also, the guy that broke up Kelly and Zach. He's in this movie as well.
What's the girl's name that's in it? She has a kind of bigger eyebrows.
Denise Richards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's not to say she's not. She was very good looking in that movie.
Denise Richards has always been very attractive.
But she just has. I like it because she doesn't chop off her eyebrows like
Yeah, Denise Richards has always been very attractive, and I think that movie was really. It wasn't her best showing. She's not the greatest actress.
See, first 20 minutes were good. Now it's all down.
It's all downhill.
So what was the next topic you wanted to get into? Do we have more topics?
We have more topics.
I didn't know if we were stopping the show or...
No, we're not stopping anything. We'll keep it going.
All night.
All night. All right. All right, let's just jump. We can just roll through it quickly.
Okay.
Greatest concert.
All right. Yes.
You've ever attended.
In my history of my life?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I saw this on the notes that you had sent over about 5 days ago, and I didn't think about it until I pulled up. And I'm like, what is the greatest concert? Man, I'm in a band. I've been to some cool concerts. I should just say my own band. But I won't.
Don't be that guy.
I will say Ozfest in 1999. For some reason, my parents let me go to Ozfest. Still in high school. Ozfest was
cool.
It was really cool. But my parents are extremely conservative, and Ozfest is exact opposite. It's just a madhouse. So they said, we don't want to go with you. We're not going to let you go alone. We're going to send your even more conservative uncle to take you. So I'm with my uncle, and he doesn't know what's going on. It's just crazy music, just mosh pits everywhere. You just have people with like barely any clothes running around like bonfires. You have Ozzy on stage hobbling around. But it was just so cool. It was at this.
He was hobbling around even back then,
dude. Yes, and you couldn't understand a word. He's and everybody's going, yeah. I'm like, what did he say? Yeah. Nobody knows. So it was at this West Palm Beach amphitheater. We got this sick spot where we were at the top of this hill, and you can overlook the second stage and see the main stage all at once. So we could overlook the second stage, see like the bands unloading their stuff in, and then you could see them play and just kind of see them interacting and what they were doing behind stage and everything. It was a really cool experience, and I saw some of my favorite bands. And since then, I've seen some cool shows, but that one will always take the cake. And I think that's just because I was young and it just ingrained in my mind. Just one of my first bigger concert experiences. So, what is yours like?
You know what?
Casey and JoJo, or
Casey and JoJo. There you go.
Is that all my life?
Here we go. You're going to do a stereotypical thing with me after I just explained how I don't like
Ted
that.
Nugent. Then
no,
the Nuge.
No. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen. Okay, it's kind of a tie, right? So My favorite artist of all time is Sade.
Okay.
All right. So I got a chance to go see Sade years ago in one of her tours, and it was awesome. It was amazing. Loved it. It just, she did all the songs, all the hits, and she sounded even better than she did on her records.
Okay.
Like her, it's just great. Like you could tell that she was, real. It wasn't a studio.
So she wasn't playing like backing tracks.
No. I mean, like she was holding notes. I mean, you could tell when
wasn't Milli Vanilli.
No, when you get goosebumps and you could really feel it.
Okay.
That I would have to say that is the greatest one.
Okay.
I do have like a 1A.
1A. Okay.
And that would be Roger Waters.
Roger Waters. I don't know who that is.
Roger Waters is one of the driving forces of Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay.
So he did a concert out here. I went to go see it. And I got lucky enough, a buddy of mine sent out a text like, hey, I got an extra ticket. If you want to go, let me know. And I was sent him a text. And that's how my phone sounds when I text. So, and we went, and I wasn't expecting much. I didn't know much. I liked Pink Floyd. I knew I liked a couple of their songs.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there, and I was like, man, this is like some really, really good music. And no, I was not stoned or anything like that. I was just there, had a couple drinks, and I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then he played this song I never heard before, and it was called Pigs, 3 Different Kinds, or 3 Different Ones. I can't remember the exact title. But he played that, and then when he played it, and this has nothing to do with that, but so he's playing this song, and in the middle of the arena, it's like the album cover. If you see that album cover, whatever, go check it out. I think it's on the Animals, Pink Floyd. Mm-hmm. But it has this whole stage lifted up,
yeah,
and it became like a projection screen, and all it was stuff about Trump, and it was basically it was insulting.
Okay.
But that song was so kick-ass. I love that song. And after that song, though, I'll never forget this. I've never seen it before. 2 people in front of us just got up and left.
Oh, they weren't digging the imagery?
They weren't digging the imagery. Because not only was it that, it was a big, balloon going around that just basically said Trump is a pig on it. It was just a big thing. But it was cool because, that's a legendary to see that.
Yeah.
A legendary person, and I was able to see that.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to see Pink Floyd together because, they've disbanded and things like that. But I was able to see Roger Waters, and I think that was awesome. So that was really cool. I did see Paul McCartney recently too. That was cool in his own right.
Was that the T-Mobile?
Oh yeah,
that was good. That was a good show.
Those they were both at the T-Mobile. Roger Waters and Paul McCartney.
Oh.
I saw Sade at this is before T-Mobile was even made. That ring was even made. This was years ago.
Yeah.
It had to be like 2003 or something like that. I still got the ticket stub in my lockbox of all the stuff that I cherished most.
Your diary?
No, it's not in my diary. It's a little box. Okay?
Your lock diary?
It's not okay. All right.
Your scrapbook. So I don't know why I forgot about this, but I do have something that might beat what I said earlier.
All right.
So we're at a show. My buddy, Trent,
yes.
One of the original guitarists in my band. I had
yes.
another friend named Evan. We were at this show out at Sam Boyd Stadium, probably 2000, 2001, and I think it was called Big Freaking Event or something. Okay. Just like 10 or 15 bands all playing like one giant stage. So there's 30 or so thousand people inside of the Sam Boyd Stadium on the floor, and then you have people up on. There's just a ton of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people there.
So we're basically there to watch the Deftones.
Okay.
And we make sure we get right to the front. We stand up front all day. I don't know how we survived because it was pretty hot. We didn't have any water. We were standing up against the gate all day, suffering through some not so great bands. I'm not a huge Social Distortion person, and I was just like, come on, hurry up and get done because the Deftones were playing right after them.
Yeah.
So the Deftones get on. They're just killing it. People, the mosh pit's huge. To kind of paint the picture, the stage is... from where we're standing, the stage is probably 10 feet up. And the guard gate, there's like a moat between the stage and the guard gate of about like 6 or 7 feet. And you have a bunch of bouncers and security guards that are standing right there, making sure nobody jumps over. So they get to the point in a song called Head Up. And the frontman, Chino, says, hey, if you know the words, I want you to come up here. And so they play the song Head Up. They get to this point where they just let their instruments ring out. And I said, I know these words. We used to cover this in high school. And so I'm raising my hand. And Trent and my buddy Evan are actually pushing me over the fence. The security guard kind of like tackles me. And then the singer comes over and says, no, let him up. So I climb up on stage. And they said, do you know the words? And I'm like, yeah, I know these words. Easy. So he hands me a mic. At that point, I'm 18 or 19 years old, maybe 17, and my knees are shaking, dude. I am scared to death because I've never seen this many people in my life. So they play the song, and I don't know what it sounds like. I got my wish because there was not really any technology back then to record how I did, which I hate it to this day. There was no cell phones. There was like the ones text. So he says that's the best performance we've had on this tour. Tells me, and he lets me stand on the side of the stage while they're performing the rest of their show, and they have like 3 or 4 more songs. So the crazy thing is that during their set, the bass player comes over in between songs, and he lays on the ground behind the stage, and his girlfriend just gets on top of him and just makes out with him while he's playing the songs, and then he gets back up, goes back out into the crowd, and then like rocks out, and then comes back out, and his girlfriend or wife or whoever, they're just like making out the whole time, and I'm like, what is going on? God rest his soul because he died a few years ago, cheated, but oh
wow.
So I'm gonna try to make this short, and it will be short and sweet. On the entire tour, everybody who got to go up and sing with the Deftones, they gave a guitar to that they performed with that night. Guess who didn't get a guitar because I was too afraid to leave my friends and not go hang out with them? This guy. They said, hey, follow us to our backstage tent. We'll hang out, give you some stuff. I'm looking at my friends because we don't have cell phones. I'm the one who drove. I'm like, how am I going to find them? Like, when am I ever find them again?
Oh, dude.
So it was a moral conundrum. I chose wrong. Don't ever choose friendship over material things. It's the wrong choice.
That's the wrong statement.
I could have a Deftones guitar right now.
Who are the Deftones again?
One of the bigger bands in the world. Yeah. At that point, they were huge, massive.
At that point,
they're still very big.
You're still friends with Trent, though.
Yeah, we still write music together.
Exactly.
But he would have forgiven me. So that actually probably takes the cake. I'm sorry that might have been a long story, but
that was really good. And now, first of all, you did have cell phones back then. I had a cell phone in junior high.
Well, yeah. Okay, so I had one. I had a brick cell phone that had 100 minutes per month with no camera. My sophomore, junior year of high school. And then I had a flip phone that took 2.5 megapixels, maybe, and barely any video. At one point, I believe there was a picture going around, and I thought I had it somewhere, and I can't find it. I look. This is one of those things where once a year I try to dig through the greatest invention of all time, the internet. But where's my picture? All right, where's my picture?
Okay.
Wow. I'm not just making it up.
Wow.
I'm famous.
Wow. If you got to say you're famous, you're not famous. That's the one rule.
All right, so we talked about greatest concerts. Now we have a very, very important topic to discuss.
My God. This is not... Like, when I saw this, I was like, what is this?
This is the most important topic that we can ever discuss on this show.
Oh, my God.
It is one of the greatest.
Prepare yourselves.
Yes,
guys. Prepare yourselves.
Sit. If you're not sitting, you are.
Oh my god!
You'll probably. Hold on. I got it.
Man, don't get in the freaking launch position for your gas.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Sorry. That was. I didn't want to. I don't want to do that mid
I'm
sentence.
so glad I can't smell right now. I'm so glad. Because I would probably have to punch you in the chest.
Yeah, I should have counted down 10, 9, 8, which actually we're counting down into our next segment, which is the Earth flat?
Oh, my God.
Is the Earth flat, Marlon?
Oh, my God.
Is it flat?
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Okay, how do you know?
Because oh, my God. You know what? It's funny. Because I had the exact same conversation with a buddy of mine and his family. And I'm going to tell you his reasonings.
Okay. His whole family was flat earthers?
No. They were indulging him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And we were all we were at lunch, and we were like, oh, this is a family that I kind of adopted. They adopted me, and I became a part of their family.
That's nice.
And
your voice is gross at this point.
No, my voice is awesome at this point.
It sounds like you're like, it's like you're tightening your butt cheeks.
No, it does not sound like that. My voice sounds awesome. But anyway, so we're sitting there, and he's like, "Oh man, super conspiracy theory, dude." It's like, "Oh, so you have no idea? You've never seen it. You've never seen the Earth. Every time they're showing pictures from the Earth,
it's photoshopped.
They
changed the GPS.
You don't see any of the satellites or anything like that as orbiting around the Earth."
He's right.
And the Earth is flat, and there's a large ice wall that's
and NASA protects it.
That we can't go beyond. And if we go beyond that, there's dinosaurs and things like that. And
So what's the problem?
I about lost it. Because that makes absolutely no sense.
You don't believe dinosaurs walked on the Earth?
No, I know they walked. Do they still walk on the Earth?
I mean, yeah, beyond the ice wall. How do you think they got that footage in Star Wars of them fighting the AT-ATs in the? They went right to that ice wall.
Now it makes sense because I never watched Game of Thrones until last year. So I saw the ice wall. I was like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
They know. They filmed right there on location.
Okay.
Okay. So what about the flat? Okay. So
go ahead.
Have we been to the moon?
Have we been? No. Is the Earth flat?
No. This goes into it. Have we been to the moon?
Have we been to the moon?
Yes.
They say we have.
Okay, that's right. They say we have, Marlon. If we actually haven't been in space or to the moon, how do we have any real pictures of what Earth looks like? Exactly.
No, that was one of his another reasonings. How come we didn't go back
to the moon?
Yeah.
Well, duh. There's Transformers up there.
God.
The dark side.
I don't want to get into this conversation now. This is so asinine.
No. For real though. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
If you don't believe the Earth is flat, you're just stupid. Not you. Everybody that's listening, because I know that you're smarter than you come across.
Why is the Earth flat?
I don't know. That's how God made it. I don't know.
God made the Earth flat?
Which is, I can't even, because in the Bible it says it's a sphere, actually. And why are the other planets not flat? Why are they flat?
You know what I mean? And I'm not even in, I remember that. And I'm like, so how would you not understand that?
So actually, I was doing some research.
Go for it. Let's hear this research.
They said GPS devices are rigged to make airplane pilots think they are flying in straight lines around a sphere when they are actually flying in circles above a disk. So the government has rigged all the GPS devices.
The government. All the governments in every single country.
Now, let me tell you why.
The government.
The one world government, Marlon. The Illuminati.
Okay.
Beyonce runs the Illuminati. Just so...
Beyonce?
Yeah. Okay. You seriously didn't know that?
I know it was Beyonce.
It's plain as day. We can get into that another time. We'll talk about that on the next podcast.
I thought it was Billie Eilish.
No. So the motive for world government's concealment of the true shape of the Earth has not been ascertained, but flat earthers believe it is probably financial.
What?
In a nutshell, it would logistically cost less to fake a space program than to actually have one. Take that.
To fake a space program.
Well, yeah, because they have those studios in New Mexico where they filmed the moon landing and everything.
But what about the people that are in the space station now?
Are they really up there? How do we know? I mean, that's actually a legit question because, how do you and I actually know they're up there? We know they're up there, but how do we actually know they're up there? Can we see them up there? I mean, just because we see them on TV doesn't mean we actually have proof that they're up there.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen them shoot space shuttles into the air at Cape Canaveral, so why would they spend all that money just to pretend that they're shooting things into space? Now, that's... Do you have any other people we can call right now to ask about this?
No. Boop, 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 boop. I'm not calling anybody to get involved in this.
Kyrie Irving?
I'm not calling anybody... Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, he's a huge flat earther, actually.
No, I mean, look, it's just like, how do you know there's that $1 million exists? I've never seen it. Have you?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you if I have.
All right, well, good man.
I guess the question is, do you believe the Earth is flat?
No.
Would you ever consider it?
No.
Would you consider that the Earth is round?
Yes.
Okay. That answers my questions.
Yeah, look, I looked at that and I said, oh my God, it just reminded me of that day and how I felt. I'm going to tell you. So we're sitting there and he's talking about all this stuff. And they're all agreeing. And I'm like, I guess they don't want me to hang out with them anymore. This is their way of doing this.
You think they got together before and they said, how can we push Marlon out?
I guess it's like,
That's genius.
That's so perfect.
That's so good. I guess they don't want me to. I can't be his friend.
I was just like, oh, wow. Are you? I was flabbergasted. And I was like, okay, so I did not want to do any research into this. I do know people that might get on and might want to get on that will talk about it, but oh no.
We should have those people on.
But why?
Do you think
is this a big point of contention for you? Do you believe it?
Look.
Do you believe that the Earth is flat?
What do they say in X-Files? I want to believe.
Why?
Because that would just be more fun.
Why would it be more fun?
I don't know, Marlon. Big ice wall. There's dinosaurs on the other side of it. That sounds like fun?
Okay. So, all right. Now, people also want to think that it was...
Where they get the dinosaurs that were in Jurassic Park?
From a computer.
They didn't have computers in the 1990s.
They've had computers for a long time.
Have you seen those computers?
Those computers were about... One computer that was about as big as a building, and it can only do like 3 things.
What's 2 + 2? 4. Take 20 minutes for that.
And then you fast forward to 2007, I think they were created. I was just online looking at something, and it was a Compressor Head, this band of robot musicians.
Yeah.
Musicians.
Yeah, musicians.
And they were doing...
He programs them all,
programs them all, and it's really, really cool.
He's actually very talented. He's good, and the robots are actually playing the music.
They're playing the music, and then he added a lead singer, which made it so much better. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool. And
he's
cool.
the one that created. He's the one that's kind of like their slave. So he's like the robot slave as the lead singer. Because I just saw a video. He actually, the guy who creates them does the lead vocals now. And he
No,
has.
no, it's a robot now.
I just watched it. I watched it like 10 minutes.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, dude. I did.
right.
I'll show you a video. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, we'll discuss this.
He had like chains on. The robots were holding him.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're talking about different robot bands.
Yeah, there's multiple robot bands out there now?
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Skynet's going to happen.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Skynet's going to happen.
So, funny thing. So, I was at work, and I'm not going to disclose where I work. And I was
Dairy
sitting
Queen.
talking to a gentleman. I'm not going to tell you which one. I was talking to a gentleman, and he was telling me that he works at this mainframe.
Ooh.
And he's seeing all of these. It's a major telecommunication company.
Is it Switch?
No.
Oh.
It's a major company.
Here in Vegas, or?
They're here in Vegas, but they're building these all over the place. And it's for autonomy for the cars and other type of autonomous vehicles and machines.
Oh, man.
And he was like, he said you have to have a badge. You have to have your hand scanned, your retina scanned to get in and out of this building. And they only tell you what they need him to build. They're not saying what it's for.
Yeah.
They're not doing any of that stuff. It's
I don't
pretty
like
scary.
that. Yeah, I don't like that, man. I don't like the fact that you can, even if the robots don't take over, you can have hackers just about hacking anything and drive the vehicles that, we're driving around now.
Okay, so I was looking at these vehicles. I think it's cool because I'm a big Knight Rider fan. I was like, oh man, a car that could drive itself, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, but that was the only one, man.
Yeah.
Hackers weren't hacking into that.
Yeah, of course. Oh, quick. If you can settle a debate for me right now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if these vehicles were real, which one would you choose?
Herbie.
Okay. All right. The Magnum PI car, that Ferrari, or Knight Rider?
It would be Knight Rider.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The Magnum PI car.
It didn't do anything. It was a cool car.
I would pick Herbie
No
over.
disputing that.
I would pick Herbie over the Magnum PI car.
I would too, because it didn't do anything.
Yeah, because Herbie at least was could do its own thing.
Yeah.
It was basically just a less sophisticated Knight Rider.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And to
Children's
the person,
Knight Rider.
And to the person that knows who has this debate, it is over.
That's stupid. Why in that situation, would you rather drive your car or have your car drive it for you? I mean...
Yeah. Look, I enjoy driving vehicles sometimes. I don't like doing it in traffic.
Yeah.
So if I could just turn that off and just be like, hey, I can just chill and relax, that'd be great.
Now, remind me, did the Magnum PI car have a red light that went back and forth on the front?
And it did not.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah, it did not.
And
it was a Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari's a dime a dozen. A dime a dozen, okay? You see Ferraris everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drive one, but you see them everywhere, okay? Do you see the Knight Rider car everywhere?
No.
Okay, who drove the Knight Rider car?
Michael Knight.
Which was played by?
David Hasselhoff.
There you go. That also settles the debate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I do like Tom Selleck, though. He's cool.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's got a nice mustache.
Especially in Three Man and That Baby.
Oh, yeah. I get him and Tom Selleck and Burt Reynolds confused.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I think they look very similar. They kind of have the same mustache going on at sometimes. I get them confused all the time.
Burt Reynolds, I think, was maybe a little bit small. Tom Selleck was a big dude.
Yeah, he is.
But the only thing they had in common were the mustaches.
Was Burt Reynolds Dukes of Hazzard?
And maybe Sally Field. Ooh.
Oh. Was that Dukes of Hazzard, Burt Reynolds?
No. Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. That's not the same show?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. You had Dukes of Hazzard was with the boys in the General Lee. He had I don't know, it was I think it's John Snyder and Tom Wopak were the Dukes of Hazards, the brothers or the cousins.
How do you know this?
I don't know their real names or the character names.
Yeah.
But I do know, Tom Wopak and John Snyder.
What vehicle
they played? And the vehicle was General Lee, and they had Daisy Duke and Boss Hogg.
What vehicle do they drive in Smoking the Bandits?
Trans Ams. that were T-tops.
Was
Firebirds.
Was that the same as a Knight Rider?
No.
What was the Knight Rider car?
Knight Rider was a Trans Am. The Smokey and the Bandit car was a Firebird T-top.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then General Lee was a Dodge Challenger or Charger. I think it was a Charger. One of those two.
Okay.
But it had the big Confederate flag on top.
Yeah.
And see, my uncle used to call me Boss Hog when I was a kid because I had those big jowls. And he still called me. I saw him last year, and he still called me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel about the Confederate flag?
I don't. I mean, it never really bothered me. See, the thing is that, the whole thing about all of this stuff, people are getting too PC now. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to always stand for the negatives. It doesn't. But I understand where people can take that. And you might see a symbol that has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Like you cannot just bust out a swastika.
No.
And just be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this now. No. But
I mean, the Confederate flag has kind of become that now, though.
It has, and I don't know too much about the history.
For me, it's silly because the Confederate flag represents a part of the nation that turned its back on the other part. So basically, the Confederacy said, screw it, we're going to fight, the North, obviously.
That's a good point.
And so they, in my mind, and I think history reflects it, they kind of committed treason. Mm-hmm. They said we're going to break apart from the United States of America. Yeah, and so for me, the Confederate flag always represents kind of that. I don't get extremely upset when I see a Confederate flag. I'm from the South, and you see them all the time. But now, I do run into a lot of people who have the Confederate flags, and I will tell you, if you're not white, you can't go around there, even today. So I've seen it firsthand to where people just fly the Confederate flags, and that's kind of your warning. Who can go in there and who can't still. And so, for me, it's always had more of a negative connotation. I see people defending it, and I'm kind of like, look, it is a great reminder of history, and we shouldn't just get rid of it. It should be in the history books. It should be taught, just as the Confederacy and everybody who was a part of that, Thomas Jefferson, and everybody who was a part of that should be taught still, so we don't have to duplicate that history.
I agree.
But I'm, a lot of people see, I get called a hick all the time because I wear a camo hat. And let me tell you this little life hack that I figured out. When you wear a camo hat, you can't see the sweat stains. Yeah, did I already tell you this?
You told me that already.
Yeah, you can't see the sweat stains. So, doesn't mean I'm racist because I have a camo hat.
And that was my fault. I shouldn't have stepped on that line.
That's all right.
That was totally.
That's all right because you said. And you couldn't see the sweat stains. French fried potatoes.
Oh God. That's it. I'm done with this. I can't do it anymore.
Your voice is getting pretty bad. I think it's about time.
You know what? You're right. And so do we have any other challenges that we need?
I think it's kind of fun to do a little challenge each week.
All right. I agree.
I think this week it should be pick a defense who will hold the opponent under 15 points next week. So give me a defense who you think will hold their opponent without even looking. Okay, I'll just.
You can't do that.
Well, I want to look and see who has the bye week, but
I want to see who, because I don't know who they're playing.
I know that's more fun though. I think that's more fun.
No, it's not fun. That doesn't make any sense.
All right, okay. Well, we could look really quickly of a defense who's going to hold their opponent under 15. These are MMB and JGAG's.
That's right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin locks of the week.
Okay, that's pretty much trademarked by Stone Cold. I don't want him coming here trying to open a can of whoop ass on us.
Dude, actually, if he came in here, I heard an interview with him like a week ago or so. He sounded like a fun guy.
You know what? It's funny you say that because, of course, I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've listened to his podcast, and I think that he sounds like a really cool dude.
I mean, it is so cool when he's like, "Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?"
Okay. All right, we're done with this conversation. We are done with this.
Let's get ready to rumble.
No, we are.
Oh, actually, you can't say that. Oh, you have to bleep that out. They're going to sue us. Oh,
so done.
we're so sued.
We are so done.
Okay.
Guess who won in fantasy this week, though? This guy.
Dude, guess who deleted all of their fantasy football teams? This guy.
Oh, yeah.
I was tired of it. I deleted it. Yeah, I deleted them all. I said, I don't even care. I don't care. I'm just not going to play. It's still there. My name's still floating around, so whoever's playing me is just beating me, but I just deleted them all. I can't do it. I don't care. I don't care about you stupid fantasy. I miss the old days. Pen and paper. Technology's too easy now. Just go on there and flip it. Oh, how are you going to edit your lineup? It's too easy. Pick up a player. I want where you can write down the pieces of paper, turn it into the commissioner, and he has to say, no, I veto that trade. And you're like, why, dude? Okay. Peyton Manning for Brett Favre.
Nobody has time like that anymore. You know, everybody has all this technology to make their lives easier, but we're doing so much stuff that we don't have time to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
There's a lot of bye weeks. Bills, Bears, Colts, and Raiders. Hey, your Raiders won today, dude.
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. Your Raiders won in London. You guys are now 3-2.
That's right.
That is incredible.
I won $10.
Did you really?
Oh,
You won
yes.
$10?
Somebody, a Bears fan, bet me. And I said, "Oh yeah, that was awesome." But yeah, so what?
Do you want to pick first?
No,
I'll let you pick first. I
didn't even look.
I have a team. I
didn't even look at the scores.
I have a team that I want to pick. Actually, I don't know if I want to pick them because
I don't even know who's playing
dude,
or not.
Your voice is bad.
No, it's not. You keep bringing it up. Everybody thinks it's bad. Like, oh, it's so bad. This episode was good and his voice got so bad.
I was going to rate this episode a 2.3 until your voice crashed just now. Oh, dude. Okay.
What?
The Redskins are playing the Dolphins. The Redskins are 0-5. The Dolphins are 0-4. I don't see either of those teams scoring many points. All right. My Stone Cold Steve Austin lock of the week will be the Dolphins defense. Mark it down.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, they're playing the Redskins.
That's bad.
Dolphins defense under 15 this week. What do you got?
Who are the Patriots playing?
The Patriots are playing a Thursday night game against the Giants. Ooh, that's not a bad pick. And it's a Thursday game.
It's a Thursday game. Those games usually suck too.
Yeah, see that's what you want. You want a sucky game. My other pick would have been the Cowboys versus the Jets. My Cowboys defense, but the Cowboys defense got lit up today by Aaron Rodgers.
No, not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones.
That's right.
I had on my fantasy, baby. We won.
That is the most amount. That's the best he's ever done.
Woo!
For sure. Yeah.
He will not score that much next week. But anyway.
All right, what you got? Patriots, Cowboys.
Where are you looking? Where are you looking?
On the ESPN.com.
I'll check it.
Hey, guess who didn't lose this week? The Dolphins.
Because they had a bye week.
Yeah, we got off the schneid.
Yeah, they are terrible.
Oh, dude. Your voice is terrible.
No, this is about as terrible as the Dolphins.
It's getting worse and worse.
No, it's not.
All right.
It's fine. Okay. So look, I'm going to go the Dolphins and the Lions had buys. Ooh, I want to go with the Patriots.
Going Patriots? Okay. Pats. Defense. Under 15. All right.
Under 15, and they're playing...
The Giants.
Yeah.
All right, so we still have to think of a punishment for you. Punish MMB. Punish the MB. And next week we will discuss gravitational pull on the sun's solar flares.
Okay. Yeah.
If you could have an expert on that. Actually, if you could really get an expert on the flat Earth.
And can we discuss centrifugal force? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll try to dive into as many Einstein theories as we possibly could fit in.
See, you know what? I just was at yoga with them. Let me see if I can get Neil deGrasse Tyson to come on.
Yeah. You know, there's some things I don't agree with him on, though.
That's right.
His haircut, I'm not a huge fan of his haircut. That's the biggest thing. But I do wish I had hair.
Yeah, if I had hair like that, I would do whatever.
Yeah,
he does have like the 1990 Sinbad cut, though. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You think that's still popping in 2019?
So, we hope you enjoyed this episode. I will close us out because Marlon can barely talk at this point.
I can talk.
It sounds good.
You can understand what I'm saying.
Ooh.
I sound amazing. Ooh. And, cool. But yeah, no, it's, as always, it's a pleasure to sit here and be able to regale you guys with stories and tales of nonsense that goes on.
From the grave.
And I definitely want to thank Rich for coming on
Yeah.
and helping us understand that impeachment. That was really cool. A lot of insightful stuff. I really appreciated that.
Yep.
Also, we're signing off now, right?
Yeah. From what studios don't we do?
No, we already did that.
I know. Do you do, and then you say from so and so? Would you listen again? Have a good night.
No. So you got to go. Always. Well, I'm adding new caveats. This is as we expand. I'm adding new things.
Oh, good. Okay.
So yeah. Of course, live. It's not live. It's recorded.
Yeah, but we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
And it's not
going to do it live.
It's not going to be edited.
I refuse to edit. Refuse it.
Takes too much time.
It really does. I got a lot of stuff to do.
He's got to work at Dairy Queen.
Yes, and I'm telling you which ones you try to go get free blizzards. You're not getting them. Okay. Anyway,
Live
from the Leo Pope Studios in beautiful, luxurious, opulent,
magnificent,
magnanimous, splendiferous. Let's make up words.
I can't laugh. I got to pee so bad.
Henderson, Nevada. This is All the Bacon and Eggs podcast. Respect, honor, and integrity. It's the signs of the ox. The marathon continues.
Would you listen again?
And we're out.
Bye. Still recording. Bye.
Yes.
Bye. You better hurry up and edit.
I'm going to let you pee yourself. We'll get that on.
I'm going to.